Tim Connolly, the Nuggets general manager, who will be on the show a little later, told us that Mudiay can play in the same backcourt as Ty Lawson. Mudiay has been telling us over the last 12 hours he wants and needs the ball in his hands. Tim Connolly says he wants the ball in Mudiay's hands. Where does that leave Ty Lawson?
I mean, it leaves Ty Lawson off of the basketball team, which, you know, listen, the only thing that would keep Ty Lawson on this basketball team is if every NBA team just said, you know what, we're not going to pay that price. And then the Nuggets stuck to that price and said, well, this is the price we want for our guy. That's it. I think the Nuggets at some point are going to have to, you know, they have high expectations for the value of Ty Lawson, as well they should, I think. He's a very good basketball player. However, the shenanigans are reducing his value to a point where...
But that'd be my point. You can't lock him in the gym. I mean, you could do that, I guess, in a country like Russia. You could lock him in the gym so you can't get out. But last night, he's continuing to make a fool of himself every time he goes on social media or shows up. And, yeah, he could play in the backcourt with Ty Lawson. But do we know if Ty Lawson will come back that day from Las Vegas at all? I mean, you got to take your hit. I think, Chris, you got to take your hit and say, okay, who wants him? Who'll give us the best shot? Almost put him on eBay and say, you know,
speaking of taking a hit,
you didn't.
Well, we invited Ty onto the show. We texted him last night, and he said maybe he shouldn't be coming on at this time. And since Ty couldn't make it, we brought a hookah on. This is a hookah. Want a hit?
No.
Anybody?
I'll pass. Yeah.
But you know, to be fair. The hookah can be used for nicotine. It can be used for water mist and things like that.
Sure,
it can be used
smoke.
It can be used for marijuana. So
let me just say,
for people who haven't seen it, why don't we look at exactly what he was doing in, once again, showing his butt on social media. And that's what he does, you know, with his posse. And let's go to it. There it is. And so
you know, it's understandable that it might not be anything illegal or in this state legal, but it is smoke. And the thing I don't get is he's an athlete.
Right.
Why are you putting smoke in your lungs? I don't get any of this.
Where
are his advisors, Chris?
Okay, I'm going to raise just a couple of issues here. One, that's a starting point guard in the NBA. That's a guy. That's not the guy that you want to mentor Emmanuel Mudiay.
No,
or be face of your franchise,
or be the face of your franchise. So part two, yes, you know, if you watch the entire, I think it's a 5 or 6 minute video, you could say in an isolated incident, you know what, he's being a knucklehead, whatever. The problem is the pattern of everything that's happened before. So there's context to Ty Lawson. Part three, if you're his friends, what are you doing at this point? You know, this guy is pretty much probably paying for everything that was on the table and in that. It probably paid for that house. You're gonna help bring down the guy who's I don't. There are so many things wrong with that situation.
But I'll take it the other way.
But
he's surrounding himself with people like that.
Sure.
And I know it. I've told you personally and on the show before. I have seen it up close and personal. People thought Ty Lawson was the nicest guy in the world.
Because he was.
People complain. No, but he never was.
But
that was the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. DUI that I've told you about. His neighbor said, you're having too loud of parties. So what do? They go over and pee all over the front porch and on the wall.
Yeah, but you know what?
Is that childish kind of kid?
It's totally childish.
All the stuff he was doing. I mean,
is he trying to force a trade?
Well, clearly, if he is, he's doing it though. He's going about it the wrong way because every team he's killing his own trade.
He's not doing anything.
I asked Conley that last night, and he said he can't force us to do anything.
We'll see. Yeah. We'll see. I just want to say this. Ty Lawson, I remember the day Ty Lawson got to Denver. It was a lot like his personality and the way he came in reminded me a lot of Emmanuel Mudiay today. The locker room that he was in at that point in time, Kenyon Martin, Chris Anderson, Melo, J.R. Smith, terrible locker room to teach a young guy how to be a professional. What happened, the Ty that we're looking at is a total front from the Ty that actually is in there. He is a good young man who thinks he needs to be something else, and it's bringing him down.
Is the word gangsta
But he's not a gangster.
Yeah,
No, I know, but
way.
I'm saying that it was like Kobe. After he got into issues, he suddenly started getting tattoos to show I'm one of the guys.
Street cred.
I totally agree with you. I talked to Ty Lawson in the Final Four because I read about him growing up on one of those little basketballs that you get from Toys R Us in the goal, and he would dunk on it. And I asked him that story and talked to him about North Carolina. Then when he came here, I thought, this is a good kid who's made a couple of driving mistakes. But as time went on, he sort of took over the J.R. Smith role of being just the bad guy all the time.
I just feel like I feel like it was an effort to fit in. And
That's
I
what I'm
think
saying.
that's a problem.
Be one of the guys.
So what do you do with them right now? Tell us between now and the start of training camp, what will the Nuggets be trying to do? Because it's always open season for trades in this league.
Right. They will trade him. They will trade him. I mean, there's just he's not going to start this season on the basketball team. Now, how difficult will that be? It'll be pretty difficult. And what might have to happen is free agency might have to happen. So you see the dust settle on the teams who do sign point guards. Okay, who are the teams that are left that might need one? Now you go back and make those phone calls. So, in other words, this can last. This has potential to last a few months.
What's he worth, Chris? What can they get for him?
Right now?
And would they have gotten more trading him on draft day or in the offseason?
They probably would have got more. You mean this just as their season ended?
Well, no. I didn't word that correctly. Would they have gotten more trading him on draft night, last night, or going forward, the period between now and training camp?
Well, they probably would have gotten more for him on draft night.
Okay.
I think that I think you're talking about mid to late first rounder right now, maybe. Mid to late first rounder. I mean, where they could have
Don't you
gotten.
think they tried that? That's what. There were acknowledgments, kind of, that they were trying to move into the middle of the first round, somewhere in the 15 to 20 round. That nobody wanted him there.
But you also
they had somebody in mind they wanted.
But you have to also remember the teams that were kind of in that area. So Charlotte has Kemba Walker. Miami's trying to re-sign Dragic. So there were teams with point guards. Listen, I had a couple of people tell me that the Nuggets had tried to do the tie for the 6th pick with Sacramento, and that was the real tie chance, and it fell through. So
people were scared of him. They just the
one team that shouldn't be scared of him.
You've been here. We talked about it. He's like a number 12, number 13 point guard in the league, about middle of the league. And when you pile on all of the stuff that's going on, that drops him to maybe 18 or 19 or 20.
But you can still get 16 and 10 at least.
That portion of the big stuff brought to you by Grand Prix Motorsports, your source for the original motorcycle. That would be Indian Motorcycles. Check out the newest line of Indian cycles at Grand Prix Motorsports. They're located on County Line in Santa Fe, and that is Scott in his flip-flops on an Indian motorcycle.